Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Black Carnivore podcast. Oh, I can't believe someone is calling right now. Oh, how many times have I
The
told?
best timing.
Oh, the worst. And 7 o'clock, like I'm always engaged in something at 7 p.m. So, okay. All right, anyway, let's get started again. Welcome back to the Black Carnivore live stream. I'm so excited to be here tonight. And I'm looking forward to discussing a whole bunch of things. But let's start. Arian, how are you doing this week? It's been a little while.
I Yeah, it has three weeks. Um, I'm pretty good. Um, Trying to think if I have anything to report. Yeah, just basically pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm glad
Um,
everything is easy peasy and smooth. Great.
right.
Johnny G, yes, that was a great opening.
Yes, it was. As soon as she tries to open the phone rings.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, so Arian, everything has been smooth and easy. Well, let's just move on. So, I actually wanted to comment. So a couple, I guess it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, I put up a before and after post of Glenda. And I really just wanted to bring more attention to her interview. It was such a moving and inspiring interview, and Glenda, if you're listening, I think, I just think you're amazing. And, you really encouraged me to push myself beyond my limits and to know that, you can. You don't have to accept the limits that, you've been told. But in any event, the reason I raise this is that so many people were so inspired and moved by your story, Glenda. And one of our supporters, the member of the Black Carnivore community, actually, he makes designs. I guess he's a graphic artist, and he made these amazing T-shirts with a G for Glenda, like Superman. It's
Nice.
awesome. So let me show you a picture of Glenda wearing this awesome T-shirt. Here we go. Look at that.
Nice.
She's like Superman. Amazing. So I really want everyone, to just take a look and to, go listen to her story. It really deserves a lot of listen, a lot to pay. There's a lot to pay attention to, and it really deserves it. Okay. And the other thing was, so he is awesome and
I
makes
love that
buttons as
design.
well. Yeah. Yeah. So, you got to tell us, Tony, if you are making, if you will sell this, because I think people might want it. He also had someone make a GIF, which I don't know. Can you all see that? Yeah. So the movement is meant to imply the like when Thor smashes his hammer on the earth, and he says that's what he feels like Glenda has done. That she's taken a stand and taking her health into her own hands. And
Mm.
so this is yeah, that's exactly right. This is what she did, and we can all do this. We are doing it, but we can all do it to a greater extent. Um, and so Starlight Studio New York City.com. So definitely go over there and check out their amazing designs. And Dahlia.co is the one who actually made that GIF. And the inspiration is from Glenda. So, but yeah, definitely check out Starlight Studio NYC on Instagram and check out their website. So thank you. Thanks a lot, Tony. And yeah.
Good stuff.
Ah, here he is, Tony. Thank you. Yeah, so great. Everybody is here. There's so many people here. Hey, Time with Aaron, welcome. Johnny G missed you. Uh, and wants to know if you're off coffee and on salt, or what's the going, what's the word? What's a good word?
So right now, this is why my answer was so short because I'm always trying to figure out my hydration. I still have not perfected it, and I'm trying not to do too much because I know that you can like anxiety yourself, and then your anxiety rises, and then you try to fix yourself, and you're doing entirely too much, and that's when
Hmm.
you start having problems. So yeah, right now I'm not drinking coffee. I haven't had any in probably like 4 or 5 days, and I am like this right here, salt water, um, lightly salted water. I am trying to get back to 100%, but I felt like every time I come on here, I'm talking about salt, so I didn't want to talk about it this time.
I mean, it's okay because I want people who are watching to recognize the importance of it. And so this week, I launched a 21-day carnivore challenge, and my dogs decided to play. There's like things
Nice.
moving on the ground. But so I launched the 21-day carnivore challenge, and it's really been great and gratifying to see so many people decide to, give it a try. But I definitely have had people ask me, like, do I need to be worried about or pay attention to salt, like, you know, for good? And it's like, yes. Don't you see Arian each week coming in and talking about his
Pretty
troubles?
much.
Like, yes, your needs don't go away or don't go down with the salt. So it's good that you talk about that.
Yeah, it's basically a constant thing now. And I know part of that is because like I still do stupid stuff. Like every once in a while I'm drinking some alcohol. I know that's like a heavy diuretic. If I have more than a cup of coffee in a day, those are diuretics. So I know I'm doing things that are depleting my body of salt and electrolytes, and that's probably why I have such trouble with them. If I lived more disciplined, like yeah, for a while when I wasn't drinking ever, I basically never had salt problems.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm getting off the coffee again. I know I keep saying it, but this is the last time. I'm going off and I'm staying off. And I said today I wasn't
Hmm.
going to have any. And then I was out, and I ended up having to like basically wait 45 minutes to do something I wanted to do. So it was just kind of like, okay, what do I do? So there was a coffee
Right.
shop, so I got some coffee, and it was super expensive and terrible. I mean, terrible. I was like, seriously, I could make worse at home. So, yeah. So, so I had coffee, and then of course I had more when I came back, and blah blah blah. So, my mistake. But tomorrow, totally, totally, completely off. So there you go.
Yeah. I think I know I feel better now not having had any, and it's only been yeah several days, and I feel like I might as well just continue this for a while. And you know what? I kind of have to because I bought some coffee from a local shop here in Baltimore called Zeke's, and I don't really like it, so maybe I shouldn't have said their name. But anyway, um, like that's the only coffee that I have. If you're in Baltimore, go to Good Neighbor. That's a much better place for coffee. But
Yeah.
because all I have is this coffee that I don't really love, I either have to make coffee I don't like and like fight my way through it, or not have any, or go buy some. And I haven't felt like going to buy more.
Hmm.
So maybe it's a
Well,
good thing.
so you're off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're off. Good. So Kim Jolene says, how do you know if you need salt? If you're feeling tired or weak? Yes, those are both good indicators.
Yep.
Definitely.
Those
Um,
constipation too.
mhm, yeah. Hey Stephanie. Hey Glenda. Buenos noches, Black Carnivore family. Everybody say hi to Glenda. And Tony
Hey.
said, and Tony says that if people are interested, he will make more T-shirts. So definitely reach out to him on Instagram at what did I say? Studio something. Oh God. Well, in any event, no, here we go.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember everything but his. It was
Here he is.
Blend of Fitness.
Starlight Studio NYC on Instagram, or the
Mm.
website is starlightstudionyc.com. Okay. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you have been doing well this week, and yeah.
And
So
and how are you?
what?
Besides the sirens, besides running from the cops, how are you?
Oh, I can't believe I forgot to turn on my other mic. Oh, I'm such a joke dolt. Uh, I've been okay. Like it just, pretty busy, but that's just kind of how it goes, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah. And oh my gosh. Okay, can
You
you hear
sound
me
good
now?
now. Yeah, I think your
Okay.
level's good. You had some background noise a second ago, but I guess you
Okay.
put the gain down some.
Um, yeah, I just switched the mic. Okay. So yeah, I'm good. Just been kind of busy, but otherwise, like everything is it's good. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to report. Um, I don't know, but let's dive into the interview from Tuesday because that was it was definitely pretty interesting. So I wanted to say one. I know we spent a lot of time on pork, and I was a little nervous about that because, pork is something a lot of people like, and I don't want to create a level of anxiety about eating pork that can't be resolved. Like only so many people are going to want to or be able to work with this woman. I don't really know about the parasites thing. You talk to other people and they say, the stuff is safe and, you cook it and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know,
Hmm.
I don't want, I don't want everyone to feel, anxious about eating pork, but I do think that it is interesting to look at older methods of preserving or preparing foods because I think those methods were kind of partially designed to prevent spoilage, to deal with parasites because since we have been human, we have been competing for food. And, parasites and bugs and whatnot are, they're interested in eating too. They're going to go for the stuff too. So,
Right.
we are, one, our bodies have some level of ability to deal with this stuff. I mean, that's why our stomach acid is so strong. We have stomach acid that's stronger than most uh oh god, what is the word for them? Not predators, but um
Scavengers.
scavengers, right? Because scavenging is, you're eating meat that's older that other
Yep.
things have eaten and, stuff has started to grow in. So, so I don't know. So I think that like we have the ability to handle some of it, but depending on how ill you are, how old you are, all the things that have gone on, maybe you have less or more or less ability, but but maybe you also want to use like older cooking techniques. I don't know.
Yeah. So I researched that stuff. I couldn't find anything about the soaking, but I can't act like I like exhaustively searched everywhere.
Hmm.
But I did see that a lot of the animals that eat garbage, like they're scavengers like us. They will eat old food, such as bears and pigs, and there were like three other examples, but I can't remember those. They're all monogastric animals. I think that's the term. Like they have one
Hmm.
stomach, like she said, so they're not like eating this food and chewing cud and all
Sorry,
that stuff.
Stephanie says I'm over it already. I bought a Boston butt today.
I mean, you do you. Like, if it's working for you, do that stuff. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
see any issue there. Um, I do know that I generally don't want pork unless it's cured. Like, I'll eat some ham, um, I'll eat sausage, I'll eat bacon. Put a pork chop on my plate, I'm probably gonna get bored halfway through it. Um, Same with a pork roast, I'm probably gonna get bored. Pulled pork though, which is one of the things that she mentioned, and she said if you're gonna cook it, like cook it slow or definitely cook it full temperature. I think she said like 150 degrees. And
Mm-hmm.
because I think you had said that lately for your fresh pork, you've been eating that at 140, and she like made a
Mm-hmm.
face.
Yeah.
Um, but so I just know that my body generally doesn't seem to want pork unless it's cured. And I just roll with that. And I haven't been buying pork pretty much at all lately. My parents just made some pulled pork, and that was really, really good. But other than that, like I think I'm gonna stick with curing. Like I'm not gonna cure the food myself. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't have a desire to really learn that. But like, yeah, just to when I'm eating from other places, cured meat, cured
Mm-hmm.
pork seems to be doing well for me, and I don't plan on changing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and pork is something that I don't know. I guess I kind of look at it like a treat, and it's something I
Mhm.
get occasionally, but it's not a daily staple. So,
Yeah.
Johnny G says, "Who doesn't enjoy a few parasites?" Speaking of family.
I mean,
Exactly. Hmm.
it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So, but I
but
thought she had, she had some, good insight and generally on meat and and our animals, and where they, where they come from. So, the story about. Well, actually, I do want to go back to the pork one more time. So I think
mhm,
also that pork generally has this bad reputation, and that comes long before the 70s. I mean it I mean for thousands of years it's been put on a list of do not eat foods. So I
yeah,
feel like it's not nothing, this whole idea of a parasite, because if you could have millions of people decide not to eat this food because it's unclean, like, I don't know, to me that says, hey, there might be a problem with this food because a lot of people decided never to eat this because there's some problem
hmm,
with it. So, and I think it was when I had that interview with Diana Rogers, who wrote Sacred Cow. She was talking about how if pigs aren't raised properly, like they can be particularly a problem. And I guess because they're kind of close to us, that their parasites become ours in a way that
yeah,
chicken doesn't necessarily. So that's what I was kind of thinking about when she was talking, that if it were possible to find, really well raised pigs who were raised with their own proper, way of being raised, that would be ideal. But because everyone thinks that vegetarian fed is the ideal, that none of these animals are being fed properly. So I don't know. So
right.
those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and apparently the main two parasites are trichinella, I think, which causes trichinosis, and that thing actually, disgustingly enough, is called a nematode. That's the name of that parasite, and then the other ones are like roundworms, I think, and I
Mm-hmm.
forget what the actual name is for those, but it's it's disgusting. I don't even want to talk about like how they work because it's going to freak people out because it's giving me the heebie-jeebies just to think about it. But Yeah, apparently, exactly like you said, they're close enough to us that we share some virus. The parasites that hit them can hit us too.
Hmm.
And that makes me wonder actually if they have the same, if they have a similar stomach acidity to us. I'm curious. I feel like Googling that later. But
Actually, now you've made me curious. I would like you to Google that and let me
right,
know.
like if
Yeah.
they're
Or if
that
someone
similar
here
to
is
us,
watching.
because that's the thing that happened. So it was saying that so the reason these animals are worrisome, and I've seen people in the carnivore subreddits talk about bear meat, and that bear meat can have parasites, and you really got to be careful about eating it because bears eat garbage. So basically, what it is those animals, they will eat garbage that is infected, or they'll eat, whatever that's infected, and then they catch those parasites from that meat, and then they pass that to us when we eat their meat.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, you can freeze your meat for, this was on the Weston A. Price website, I think, like, you can freeze your pork meat for like 20 days, and everything in there is, all the parasites are going to die. Um, or cook it like you're supposed to, which, like,
Mm-hmm.
apparently has like severely decreased the prevalence of that trichinosis parasite
Mm-hmm.
in the US, because we all know to cook our meat to a
Mm-hmm.
good temperature, especially pork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess cook it. Like, I mean, I don't know if anybody has been eating, raw or undercooked pork, but cook it and then
Yeah.
don't worry about it, I guess. If you
Yeah.
feel like you've got something going on that, really isn't responding to, your dietary changes and stuff, then it might be worth, going to someone like her. But yeah. But chicken and fish, are definitely very alarming. And I feel like that's something that people eat, expecting that they are doing something healthy. And especially like fish, so many people are like, oh, meat is so
Hmm.
terrible. And I'm like, farmed fish, are you kidding? Like, that's got to be 1,000 times worse. And you hear about like what they do in those fish farms. Like, it's like, I don't understand how this could be nutritious at all.
Yeah. Uh, and just today I decided to eat. It was actually after watching the interview. She was talking about small fish, and I said, "Oh, I haven't had any fish in forever. Let
Mm-hmm.
me eat some sardines." And you know what, too?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else, it might have been Nutrition with Judy, posted a graphic of like how much magnesium is in different meats versus beef. And she said when you're eating
Mm-hmm.
just beef, it's very easy to get low on magnesium. And this is another one of those things that like can end up freaking people out because it's really detailed and it can get
Mm-hmm.
technical. And now then people start having questions of, well, how much magnesium am I supposed to have? Am I getting enough? Do I need to start measuring my food and all that crap?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want people, like, don't panic. Just,
Yeah.
if you're worried, if you want to top yourself off or something like that, then just go eat a can of fish or something. So yeah, I had
Yeah.
sardines and tuna was one of the ones that she said, like, those are the fish that get huge and you need to be worried about them.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Well, I know. There's like, well, there's no safe thing. I mean, she was basically saying beef is the least bad of the bad stuff
Hmm.
that's out there. That was kind of her approach. And, I mean, I guess I kind of feel like, yeah, I mean, there's no place that isn't that doesn't have some like toxic chemicals on the planet anymore. There's no place that's untouched by industrialization. So, yeah, to a certain extent, you know, we're not going to be able to get rid of or get away from some of these things. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know how much we have to do or care about it, and and I think that people kind of feel like with certain foods they've got this halo, and so if they eat that, they're in the safe bubble of non toxic food, but that's actually just not true.
Yeah,
And
like
yeah.
we're constantly dealing with some sort of toxin. And also we got to remember, I think you mentioned this earlier, like our bodies are built to be detoxifying all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she talked about detox pathways. So, yeah, we have them and they're working all the time, you know. So this idea that has been propagated that like you eat beef and it sits in your intestines for 7 years, it's like no. If anything sits in your intestines for 7 years, like you are in terrible shape. Something terrible is happening to you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, very
Yeah.
bad things are happening that is not supposed to. At that point, you would have literally the food would be rotting and would have been rotted. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's not real. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like Johnny G, I eat one of every animal, like Noah on his ark. I definitely, definitely eat what you like. Like, don't get all tied up with, macros and this, and you have to have so much of this and so much of that. Just eat what you like. Try new things. Be like adventurous and experiment and yeah, and get out of just eating steak. In fact, I was speaking to someone today who was she was kind of like I just I don't really like steak, and I buy these steaks, but I don't really like steak, and do I have to eat steak? And I was like, are you kidding? Like, I can't remember the
No,
last time I ate steak. I can't afford. I'm not like the rest of you. I just cannot afford to like, eating steak every day. Like, that is definitely for a special occasion. So,
hmm
yeah, no, you do not have to eat steak every day. You do not have to eat a ribeye every day. And I see that Kim asks if anyone's tried beef only for 3 months or more, and what was your experience and results. She's on day 35. I've
hmm
done it. I enjoyed it. I think I kind of lost track because I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah. How about you, Arian? You've gone long periods of just beef, right?
not that long, not 3 months. I think the longest I've done has been somewhere from 1 to 2 months. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you just that simplicity is really nice. I feel like that plus the physical benefits you get really creates this feeling of
Mm-hmm.
like just you're. I feel like I'm ready to go. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can do anything. I got the blended G on my chest, like ready to fight the world if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good feeling of like I'm using all these metaphors because I can't think of the actual word that I want to say.
Invigorating.
Yes,
Enervating. No, enervating is the wrong one.
invigorating's good though. Yeah, it's
Uh huh.
invigorating when you're adapted and you're just eating simply, especially eating that simple. And it's
Mm-hmm.
beef. Like I would only probably eat twice a day, sometimes once, and feel energy throughout the entire day. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's something to beef, so you really do feel better on it. But have what you like. Like the whole point of this is to enjoy it and to feel good. So no reason to. It's not like before where you have to eat your vegetables. Like eat the things that you like. Don't eat the things that you don't like. Experiment and try new things. And if you don't like it, don't eat it.
Right.
So don't go out and buy like 20 pounds of kidney meat. Try a little bit first, see how
hmm
you like it, and then, try again. When was the last time you had kidney? I know Arian like likes kidney. I don't know if it's a popular meat amongst other people, but
I feel like it's me and like a couple other people who aren't from America
yes.
who like kidney, and then everybody else, all the American black carnivores are like, what? And then I say like, well, yeah, you gotta like boil it, and then that boiled water, like your kitchen's gonna smell like pee for a little while. That's fine. Just pour that out. That water's gross. Don't worry about it. and, but the meat itself does not taste like pea because you've cooked all the pea out of it. And they're just
Mm.
like, no, 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 I'm good. You had me at pea. But
Oh.
it's been a hot minute, probably like 4 months maybe. Was
Oh
it
wow.
summer the last
That's been
time
a
I had
while.
kidneys? It's been a while, yeah.
Well, Ronnie says, I just had kidney for dinner. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see, Ronnie's name is Deekaa. Ronnie, where are you from?
Uh-huh.
Let's see,
So,
Johnny G's not with it.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, me either. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, anyway, but the other things that I thought were interesting about the interview was, uh, it was helpful to sort of understand more about the meats that we're eating, and it was interesting that she was sort of open to this way of eating. Just in the effort of like working to find a pathway that would work for this person who had IBS, she ended up on carnivore. And it's sort of interesting how so many people do that. Like you did it,
Hmm.
I mean, without
Yeah,
instruction, people just kind of like end up there and know that it's the right place to be.
yeah. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, it was IBS as well. That was the
Mm-hmm.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that they were doing carnivore, her and her patient, but it was a PKD-ish way,
Mm-hmm.
which I assume what I know of PKD is every protocol they put a person on is very high fat. And she said it wasn't working for her. Um, so I wonder now if like was it actually like the lack of plants that was bothering her because she said she didn't like it, or if it was this being so high fat.
Wait, who said they didn't like it?
I can't remember her name. The woman, the interviewee.
Oh, Vivica?
Yeah.
Oh, Vivica didn't like it. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that it is fair to say that there is some portion of people that, for whatever reason, don't need to do a carnivore diet, or they, are gonna feel better doing some form of keto. So, I mean, she's still low carb keto. It's not, that
Hmm.
she went back to high carb.
Right.
So,
No,
yeah,
no, she's still very meat based.
yeah, yeah. And I find it like there are those people who are like, I really like vegetables, and I'm just like, I just don't understand what you're saying. Like, I don't have that feeling anymore.
No,
Like, I'll forever have love in my heart for chocolate and for cookies and donuts. But, like, I just have no feeling about lettuce, herbs, and
no.
spices.
I had a salad on Sunday. The best part of it was the cheddar cheese and the ranch dressing. It was not the lettuce itself. It was not the tomatoes. The tomatoes were better than the lettuce. I can say that, but that's because tomatoes are fruits. Makes
Mm
sense.
hmm. Mm hmm. Um, so Kimberly says, I tried the ground beef because you said it was good. It didn't taste better than beef, not trying kidney. Kimberly, I'm glad you tried it. I
Hmm.
I thought the bison was okay, but I'm also not going to make an effort to get it again. So I get what you're saying. Like it's not better than beef. It's just different.
I wonder. Hmm.
Well, that was
It
one
definitely
try
tasted.
of one particular, batch.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to experiment, but I did not find any great love there.
Yeah. I think I've had two or three different brands of ground bison. Like one from Sam's Club, one from I don't know where this stuff came from, but my parents' church was giving it away, and then The third one was from Mom's or
Wait,
Sprouts, one of those two.
your parents' church was giving away bison? How does that happen?
Right. Okay. So, and
That's like
it
not a
surprised.
normal thing.
It's totally not. It surprised the hell out of me. So, all right. So, my parents' church does a they do a food pantry once a month where they're
Uh-huh.
giving out food to people in the community, and um, they receive food to give away from the Maryland Food Bank, which is receives funding or whatever from like the USDA, like however that stuff works. But anyway, somehow they had bison one month. So they're doing these like 2 pound packages of ground bison. And my mom asked me like if I wanted some. And I'm like, hell yeah, it's bison. So I took 3 packages. So that's 6 pounds. That was the best ground bison I've ever had. I did not pay attention to like where it was from, what the brand name was, any of that. And I'm mad at myself now because it was the best of the all of them. Like I've had bison from two different grocery stores that didn't taste as good as this stuff that was being given away.
Oh, wow. Oh boy. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Just
So
just a taste, and that's it.
yeah, pump
Mandel
my
says ground by Mandel says ground bison is like venison to me, and Valerie says hi from Eugene, Oregon. Hi, Valerie.
mm,
Um, oh my God, Johnny G says I've scored a lot of $10 a kilo of scallops lately. Needless to say, the freezer is full. Um,
good stuff.
so wait, that's oh my God, I can't do any math. I don't know. So for a pound, is that $25 a pound? No,
Is
$22 a
it?
pound.
What's a kilo to pound? Isn't it? It's two point
2.2.
two. Okay, so if it's $10 a kilo, then that means it's $10 for 2.2 pounds,
So
right?
all of you people from other countries, don't laugh at us. It's not our
Yeah,
fault.
right. Like we
We didn't
use
get
this
proper math.
this stupid imperial system where nothing makes sense, but it's what we grew up on.
Yes.
Um, oh, why is Bay it says is bison like camel? How the who knows what camel tastes like?
Well, I've actually had milk chocolate with camel milk. I think that's a thing in the Middle East. Like my brother's
Really?
wife is Persian, and she gave me a box of chocolates it was milk chocolates, but it was camel's milk. And so this was earlier in my carnivore days, but I was like, I have to have this because I don't know when I'll have camel's milk again. Um, it had yes, you could tell it was, this was not cow's milk. But it wasn't bad.
Hmm.
But it definitely was like, hey, this is a little different. This is a little different. So, uh,
I
let's
feel like
see.
trying some now. Where do I order this?
Well, you can get camel fat. Like, that's pretty easy to buy, rendered and jarred. Turner 2 says, I enjoy ground bison. I mix it with beef, but it's because it's too lean for me. Yeah, I definitely found it to be very lean, and it was kind of like, yeah. So, hey, large picture, welcome. Good to see you. And Bayet is bison like camel. So they're both, I believe, they're both ruminant animals. Other than that, I don't think that they're alike.
I would
What?
have.
Oh. And
Ladies and
this
gentlemen, you are
person,
witnessing the most professional live stream ever in the history of YouTube.
oh, okay. And that person is calling on FaceTime, so it's like making all of my devices go off at once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um okay, so yeah, it's not like camel, or they're not like alike to one
Hmm.
another. Um
Oh, but yeah, they are ruminants. Okay, that's cool.
Wait, says I was pretty satisfied with ground beef and salt. I then had to do 2 rounds of an antibiotic to end up with these incredible cravings for what I couldn't figure it out. I was so hungry.
Mm.
Um, Wait, were the antibiotics due to the ground beef, or this was just, you know, two things that happened at the same time?
Yeah, that was my guess.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after that, so 2 rounds of antibiotics. So you killed all of, well, you did probably did a number on your microbiome.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And then I wonder what you would crave at that point. Like, what's even left to cause cravings?
I don't know. Or I mean, you've never like completely destroyed your microbiome. So, there's
Yeah.
just less of them and they're all, hungry. They survived an onslaught and they're all hungry.
Yeah,
I don't
like you've
know.
got the fittest bacteria inside your gut at that point. Which
Yeah.
ones are
Just,
winning? Which one is it, the plant ones? Is it the meat ones? What kind of meat bacteria do you have? Like, what are they telling you to eat? I wonder.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, but I did see somebody in the Facebook group was talking about, asked me if I'd ever had goat or lamb bacon. And I was like, oh my God, you've like completely blown my mind. It never even occurred to me that such a thing existed. So, no,
Yeah.
I have not. And wow.
Mm.
So, yeah. Um, and, uh, and congrats on the scallops. So, okay, so now we've figured out the numbers. $5 a pound. That's amazing. So
Hmm.
congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish. Cheapest I can get scallops is $10 a pound.
Yeah. Me $30.
So,
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like $30 for a bag for 2 pounds. Yeah. So it's a lot.
mhm.
Um let's see. Kimberly says what's the purpose of mixing the bison with beef? To get more fat. It's very lean.
Yeah.
Johnny G, one hump or two. What's more tender? I don't know. I don't know. Um, let's see. Hi, I'm Dee. First time seeing you in a live. I'm new to the channel. Thank you for all the information. Yay! I love to see new people on the channel. Welcome, welcome.
Hey,
I'm so
D.
excited. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of chat here. So, in any event, I think that, the moral from the story was on Tuesday is, there is stuff out there. There's stuff out there that can be a problem. Do your best, be thorough in your cooking. And I don't know. I mean, maybe this is how black folk are, but, we cook the food to death.
Right.
So
It's normally not a thing
it
that
doesn't
you
come
need to
out
worry
raw.
about in a black house.
Yeah, yeah,
You got to tell them, like, you got to watch them on the grill. Like, all right, take that off, take that off. That's
yeah,
gonna be mine. Because
yeah,
otherwise, everything is gonna be burnt black. Like the way you want your hot dogs, they're gonna cook everything that way.
yeah, absolutely. But there you go. And so then, I at the end I was asking her about Hashimoto's, which I kind of haven't really paid a lot of attention to it because like I told her, I feel like that's something I've
Hmm.
heard a lot of white women talking about, but I really haven't heard a lot of black women talking about. And I don't know that's not because we don't get it. It may be that we don't get diagnosed or what. So I was hoping she would have more insight on that. But she didn't. So that
Yeah.
may be something that I kind of spend some more time looking at because many of us can feel tired and maybe not go and like discover that we've got a problem with our thyroid or adrenals for that matter.
Yeah. So that was the part. The pork stuff stood out to me. The Hashimoto's thing, because you made me realize, when you asked her that question, I don't think I've ever heard anybody black talk about Hashimoto's.
Hmm.
I didn't know it was a thing. And in fact, like the only people that I know of who even have it are Yishavari, and I think Vivica said that she had it for a while. So now that's two. Like, it's not talked about much. I do hear about thyroid, problems more often with Black people, but not specifically Hashimoto's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Dr. Rimka has or had a problem with it. The grass-fed girl, she also does carnivore. A lot of people have a problem with Hashimoto's, but I also get the impression that it comes from um, doing a lot of food restriction and over taxing yourself
Mm,
because of the food restriction. And honestly, like that's we don't really do restriction very much in the Black community. We go in the other direction.
right.
So, yeah. So the
A lot of
diseases
us.
that, yeah. So the diseases that have to do with not eating enough and being overly strict are just, I just don't think we see them as often. So,
Mm, that makes
hmm
sense. Yeah. Unless you're talking about Black people who have been like strict vegans for a while.
hmm yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that explains that. So yeah, that was interesting. And her explanation of menopause, probably like as a guy, I don't think about menopause much until like one of y'all brings it up, and
Well,
then
she
I
talked
go,
about man boobs or gas. What was the word for it?
gyno
Yeah, guy
or
knows something.
gyno mass something. Yeah. Um, moobs is the very not
Yes.
nice way to talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that I knew about
I mean,
from all
I've
the
started to hear more people talk about the dangers of how many estrogens we are exposed to, through plastics, through, through soy and so on, and that it's a problem not only for women but also for men. And
yep.
men, I mean, I, I don't pay attention to testosterone, but like. I, periodically hear this concept going through the carnivore um, community about people like, oh, my testosterone went up to this, and it went up to this number. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know, that was a problem for you. But I guess that is a problem that people have low testosterone. So, yeah, so it's a big deal for everybody.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that part I guess I didn't pay as much attention to because I kind of knew about that, especially like soy. Um, I'm plotting how to get my parents off soy and almond milk. I haven't figured out the right way to do it yet, and I don't want to bring it up too soon, like and shoot my shot, and then they don't they don't take it, and now it's like I can't bring it up again. So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do it the right way. But yeah, they're in that same boat where like I kind of just what I've been doing so far is just gently encouraging them when they bring up like whole milk to say like, yeah, that's the best, and I just leave it there. I don't explain why, and if they don't ask, I don't answer. Then I don't give the answer because they haven't asked, and I just leave it there. And I hope that that like slowly
Right.
pushes them away from freaking plant milk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, Michelle Bateman has lost 41 pounds since August 1st. Brava! Fantastic.
Yeah,
So
right.
impressive. And tell us what was your, what was the number one thing that helped you to be successful? What's your top tip for people? And I see some conversation more about bison. So I think Kimberly is wondering why eat bison. And it's just something different. So mix it up. But if
Yeah,
you don't like it, don't eat it. It's okay.
yeah. Um, I know some people go for it because they want more lean meat. Like for me, like
Mm-hmm.
I like more lean meat. I don't even. I had some ground beef today that was there was too much fat in it, and that was kind of it actually tasted gross to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that I like leaner meat now, so bison's good for that. Also, some people would probably say you are better off getting bison than store-bought beef because that bison lives a more natural life. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
confirmed that, but I've heard it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's see. Turner 2 says, I do like the taste of bison. I believe the nutrition is about the same as beef. I eat it for variety, and I live in Montana, so I have access to it locally. So, Turner
Nice.
2, tell us how, is bison better treated and healthier than cattle? What do you think? Let us know, because you're living near them, and yeah, no more than I would, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I really liked her explanation of menopause too, because what I was saying was I'm being a guy, I don't think about menopause often. So then I don't research it, and it's not like I have people talking to me about it. So I didn't really know how it works. So for her to just say that it is your what's the gland or the organ that makes estrogen? Is it the ovaries or is that something else?
yeah, the ovaries.
Okay, so your ovaries are basically shutting down. They're done. So then your adrenal glands have to make up the deficit in estrogen. And if your adrenals are already overtaxed because of what you've been eating or your high stress or whatever, then that's why you have a hard time during menopause. I thought, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that makes perfect sense. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
constantly hearing just about every time Judy Cho does a video, she's talking about somebody's adrenals being taxed and then their hormone levels are tanking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that that put that together for me in a way that I'd never heard anyone talk about menopause before.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned something about y'all.
That's excellent. I am so proud of proud to have you as a friend who's willing to learn and listen to information about menopause.
Yeah.
So, you all who are listening, well, the women who are listening, tell me if you, found that helpful, and if you want to hear more information about carnivore and menopause. So, I will endeavor to bring that, but it is something that's going to happen to all of us. So, it's worth knowing a little something about, and to support, your sweetheart or whomever, as they go through that. So everybody should know
Hmm.
a little something about it. Let's see. Deetria asks, "What about pork chitlins? Does anyone clean, cook, eat them?" I hope you clean them, cook them, eat them.
Or, or someone else cleans and cooks them.
Yeah.
I probably would eat them. My mom makes them a couple times a year. I'll probably eat hers next time because I haven't tried them in years, but
Mm-hmm.
they still smell gross and I don't really have much desire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. Okay. So, yeah. Did you have any other thoughts from the video?
The menopause, the Hashimoto's, the pork thing. No, I feel like that was it. I can't think of any others.
Okay. So now we're in the beginning of November, right? And we've got Thanksgiving at the end of the month. So I really do want everyone to have a good Thanksgiving and go into it the way they want to and come out of it the way they want to, and not
Hmm.
not end up in a place that they didn't want to be. So so I think that it would be good to talk over the next couple of weeks about, like, good carnivore recipes, good carnivore substitutes that can help you stay on track. Or maybe you decide you're going to stay keto, and that gives you a little bit more flexibility and freedom. Or you decide you're just going all in and you're just going to deal with the aftermath afterwards. Which is, no, but that is a serious choice and a serious option as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah. But
like
I
most
think if
likely
you,
that's going to be what I do.
yeah, yeah. But I think that you have to have a plan. If you're going to do that, you have to have a plan for what you're going to do and then how you're going to come out of it. Because, a lot of times I would be like, okay, just, Thanksgiving, like just the dinner, I'm just going to eat whatever and then blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, I get to the place and there's some good appetizers. And then it's like, okay, well, just the appetizers and then the dinner. And then, the next day it's like, oh, but, that stuff was so good. And I have this extra slice or plate that I took home. So just
Hmm.
this, for breakfast. And then I'm going to go back. And then it's like, oh, I'm going out for dinner and, there's leftover this and leftover that at the such and such person's house. And then, and so the next thing I know, it's like Monday. And I've been eating that way for 5 days and and then it's harder to get back on track. So you just kind of have to make the decision how you want to handle it.
Yeah. And part of that is you being self-aware enough.
Hmm.
Like in that situation, that scenario that you described, it's probably like ideally you would know like I can't permit myself this much. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this stuff, it has to be this day. If I'm gonna have this stuff, then I need to look around and decide which things I'm going to allow myself to eat and which things I'm not, and which things I'm definitely not taking beyond this day.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the way I do it, and we'll probably go over this in more detail in a later show, but I will eat everything that day, everything that I want. Like I'm still not, there's some stuff I just don't like, period. Like cornbread, no, don't want it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's that day. The only leftovers I'm taking home are going to be meat. So I'm taking home meat, turkey,
Yeah.
and if there's like a rib roast or something, like a prime rib, I'll take that. But like that's it. So then
Hmm.
go home the next day. I'm still having Thanksgiving leftovers, but it's not that whole meal. I don't need the dressing. I don't need the macaroni and
Hmm.
cheese. I don't need the candy yams, all that stuff. I tasted those yesterday. I'm good. Because I know if I keep doing that, then that's also going to lead to like, for me, sugar leads to alcohol and alcohol leads to sugar. So they spiral
Yeah.
into each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I think what we're going to do is for November 11th, which is next Thursday, we're going to do, Audra's going to come back on and we're going to talk about our favorite carnivore or keto recipes for Thanksgiving. So I want to, just like put up some recipes, give you guys some good ideas, and I encourage you all to send me your recipes or bring them on Thursday, and make your suggestions. So last year there were 2 or 3 different versions of carnivore stuffing going around, and
Hmm.
I didn't try any of them, but people said that they were really good. So I think that that would be something that I would like to put up and, let everybody, have the option to try that. I think a lot of them had cheese in it, so that for me that was why I didn't do it. And I think, if you don't have like a totally horrible response to cheese like I do with asthma, I think it's fine to have cheese on occasion. And maybe that's the way that you can, um, have like that feeling of having something special, So maybe making a stuffing with cheese is a good way to go. I used to make quiche Lorraine all the time, a crustless quiche Lorraine, which I loved. So, I will give the recipe for that. It is definitely carnivore. It is, but, not for me because of the dairy. But yeah, let's try to have some various things so you feel like that you can go into the holiday feeling good. And then I think on the 18th we'll talk about like portions and dealing with food pushers and temptations and cravings and all of that, and just kind of get ready for the following week. What do y'all
Yeah,
think of
I
that?
think I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if you noticed, but you got a couple thumbs up to more talk about carnivore and menopause.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Um, Fantastic. So Michelle did, she did the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs in October. Excellent.
Mm.
Excellent. Um, okay. And Johnny G says sugar and alcohol feel the same. Oh, yeah, totally. Totally.
Yep.
Um, uh, and Kimberly, yeah, well, Thanksgiving. Sure, the history of Thanksgiving is definitely fraught, but I do think that as families, having an opportunity to come together and be together as a family is important. So, not celebrating Thanksgiving and the brutality that it stands for, but the time is definitely spent well spent with family. Um,
Right.
and of course, we
Like,
have Black Friday. That's ours.
and as Black people, like, I don't know about you and what your family traditions are, but like my family doesn't really celebrate any holiday, like really celebrate it. Like, I mean, grew up Christian, so yeah, Christmas is a religious holiday. Easter is a religious holiday. Other than that, though, like
Hmm.
these things are just their days off and excuses to get
Have
together
a
and eat a bunch of
barbecue.
food. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I mean, for
I
Easter, like the chocolate and the candy and stuff was done for me, but as soon as I grew up, like that was gone. It
mhm,
was not an Easter thing. It was just, we all get together and eat together.
right. Yeah. You
Hmm.
eat, play some spades, talk some smack, and that's how these holidays go.
Yeah.
So I kind of I understand the thought and I agree with it. Like I'd like for America as a country to just stop calling that day Thanksgiving because that's not what it's about.
Hmm.
It's not really celebrated that way. Get rid of Columbus Day. There's a whole lot of days that don't need to exist and actually are terrible. But
Hmm.
the way we celebrate is not in the spirit of what that day is supposed to be about. Like, nah,
Hmm.
we're just eating.
Yeah. Um, So Stephanie says, I'd like to try the stuffing depending on how involved the process. Yeah, the process can be involved. So, but you'll see the recipes and we'll see. Okay, Johnny G is giving me an idea for a t-shirt design, Carbage. Um,
Oh yeah, that.
and menopause is secret lady business. Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
I'm gonna start saying that. Secret lady business.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Stephanie says, do we really celebrate any holidays? It's all an excuse to have cookouts and dinners. Yeah,
Exactly.
agreed, agreed. Okay, so, Audra says we celebrate everything, always an occasion to get together with family, celebrate, decorate, talk smack. Mm-hmm,
Yep.
absolutely. Okay, so let's. So we're gonna, bring this to a close. I have really enjoyed having this conversation tonight, and I missed you, Arian. I'm so glad that you were back, and
Uh,
looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, which will be right before the week before Thanksgiving, and yeah. And then we'll kind of go from there. But next week, everybody, send me your recipes, bring your recipes, come prepared to, talk about recipes, and, let's get excited for a carnivore holiday. This is round one. Round two is next month. So this is round one, and let's see how we can get through it, and let's see if we can do it, in a healthy carnivore way or in a controlled explosion.
right.
Hmm.
A controlled explosion.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
I have a joke, but I'm not gonna go there.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Bye, Naima. Bye, Johnny G. Bye, Audra. It's good to see you. All right, everybody. Have a great one, and I'll see you next week. All right.
Bye.